Is it easy to do business with your company? This is a question you have to know the answer to. Stay with me for some recent examples from my doing business with other companies. One thing that a customer looks for when doing business with a company is ease of use. If it's difficult to do business with you, they'll go find someone else. It is just that simple. I'd like to share with you a couple of recent examples that have brought this back up to a level of importance that I want to share with you. I was on vacation in Hawaii with my family, and one night we decided that we wanted to try this restaurant that had great reviews. We wanted to go and get some food to go. And normally what I do here in California is that I would call over the phone, order through the web, go down to the restaurant and order whatever way seems convenient at the time. Well, in this case, I decided to go down to the restaurant and order in person. I went down there. There was a group of people around the front door, obviously a popular restaurant. I waited in line to get to the host stand. Once I got there, I said, I'd like to order some food to go. The answer from the host was, you can't do that. What do you mean I can't do that? I'm here. I know what I want to order. We don't take orders in person. You have to order online through the website. Can I just walk over to the bar and order through the bartender? That's how they do it in many restaurants where I live. No, I'm sorry, you can't do that. You'll have to order online. The URL is on a sign just outside the door. Well, I go outside and I see this sign with a long URL and no QR code that I could use my phone to take a picture of and go right to the ordering website. That's making it easy. So I have to punch in this long URL on my phone, hopefully not getting a single letter wrong, and I go to the website and I find that I can't make an order. I thought I was able to order through this URL. I go back into the restaurant, wait another minute to talk to the host, and the host says, well, you can't order now because it's after 7:30. We don't take any online orders after 7:30. Wow, that was really frustrating. I wish that they had told me the first time that you have to put your order in before 7:30. I guess they didn't check the time. So the next day, we tried to order through our mobile phone, and it took 3 times for the order to go through. That was really frustrating. I don't know what's wrong with the restaurant's website, but it took 3 times. We did eventually get the order. We enjoyed the food, and we realized why the restaurant gets the great reviews that it does. We decided one more time later in the week to enjoy this restaurant's food again. I took out my laptop, which made it a whole lot easier to make the order. I went through the whole order, but it wouldn't go through. I was used to this, so I had some patience, and I put the order in again. And it still didn't go through, and there was actually a message saying, online ordering is currently not available, contact the restaurant. That's pretty different than what the restaurant told me the other night. I called the restaurant hoping to make an order over the phone. And they said, we don't take orders over the phone. You have to go through the website. I said, well, I tried to order through the website, but it's telling me to contact the restaurant. And then the host says, well, we actually turned off online ordering because the kitchen's too busy. Okay, so we ended up not eating at that restaurant a second time. We just went somewhere else. The other restaurant, ordering worked the first time. It went through smoothly. And there was some disruption as to how long it took, besides what they estimated. But it was easy to do business with them. There's a second experience that I had recently that I want to share with you. There's a local framing shop in town where we like to have pictures framed. I took a picture in there about a month ago to have framed for my son. They told me when it's done, we'll give you a call. It should be 1 to 2 weeks. Well, it had been 2 weeks and we had received a call, but they didn't leave a message. So I thought, are they trying to tell me that the picture is ready and they just didn't leave a message? So I thought, well, we better call them before we drive down there to pick it up. I called and asked for the framing department. They directed me to the framing department. I sat on hold for about 4 minutes and then I hung up. I called back a little bit later, asked to be directed to the framing department. I waited a little bit longer, still no answer, and I hung up again. I called back, and when someone answered, I said, look, please don't transfer me to the framing department. They're not answering the phone. Can you tell me what I need to know? And they said, no, we can't help you. I'm at the cashier. You have to talk to the framing department. Well, it's kind of useless, right? They won't answer the phone. So I didn't even bother. Later, I asked my wife if she would try. So she tried, and while she was doing other things, she sat on hold for over an hour. Over an hour waiting for a person to pick up the phone. This is ridiculous. It's unimaginable that a business would allow that to happen. And this business has operations around the country. This is not a mom and pop framing shop. I'm not going to mention the name of this shop or the restaurant because that's not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is share with you the fact that your business must be easy to do business with. I did eventually get a call from the framing shop and a message saying that my picture was ready. So I went down there to pick it up. I walked back to the framing department and there's nobody there. No sign, no help. I walk around the store looking for an employee. I find one and I say, I went to the framing department looking for help, but I don't see that there's anybody there. The person looks at me and says, they're on break. Okay, well, I just need to pick up a picture. Could I get some help? Then they said, all right, let me radio someone else. So another person was called to come over to the framing department, help me pick up my picture. And so I did walk out with my picture, which was a good conclusion. But the point of these stories is that business could have been a whole lot easier if they would fix some of their friction problems, right? The restaurant, trouble getting through the website with making orders. Lack of clarity around ordering policies in terms of like time frames. A lack of friendliness is what I also received. And there's only one way to order to-go food from that restaurant, and that's through the website. You can't order over the phone and you can't order in person. That's very unlike restaurants in my local area. How about the other case? No one picks up the phone in the framing department. Do you have a policy at your company about how quickly someone should pick up the phone? Do you have a system that will re-ring the phone after a person has waited for a certain period of time? Do you enable other people in the company to help customers who are waiting on the phone so that they're not just waiting for a single person in a single department? What can you do at your company to make it easier to do business with you? Do an investigation of how to do business with your company and look for friction points, areas where there's probably some issues that customers are facing that you could systematically fix one by one to make it easier. Look at your website, look at your phone service, look at your in-person service, look at your hours of operation, look at your parking, look at clarity around what you offer. Do you accept all forms of payment that are available these days? There are many of them. Do you have your people well trained to provide unified service that's great across the board so customers aren't getting uneven customer service? There is a lot of different things to look at when you're evaluating ease of doing business. Take the time, make improvements steadily, and you will find that customers will do more business with you more often, and they'll turn away from the competition who's hard to do business with. If this video has helped you and you have comments, please post them in the comments below. If you have questions, post those below too, or email me with your questions and I may answer them in a future video. Also, please subscribe to this channel if you're not already. Like and share these videos to let YouTube know that these videos are helpful. And if you have interest in my service, please go to my website, buildandbalance.com, and send me a message or make an appointment. I hope that I make it easy for you to do business with me. Thank you very much.